considering co-signing for your son or daughter's student loans. But before you do, there are some important things that you should know. Consumer reporter Nydia Hahn explains.
He just was a very, very caring, active person who is gone way too soon.
Christopher Brisky was in his third year at Rutgers University when he suffered a traumatic brain injury during a recreational accident.
You know, you get that phone call, in a matter of minutes. Your entire life has changed.
Christopher died in July of 2006 after being in a vegetative state for 2 years.
It's heart-wrenching. It's heart-wrenching.
Even though Christopher was a dependent of his parents, because they did not have durable power of attorney, they had to go through the painful process of applying for guardianship of their son so they could make necessary medical and financial decisions.
Something that's so simple to do, you may never need it. But if it's there, it saves so much heartache in this sort of a situation.
The Briskys also learned a lot about private student loans. Even while Christopher was lying in the hospital, banks were calling about repayment of those loans for which his father had co-signed. While the government forgives federal loans if a student dies or is disabled, lenders of private student loans are not required to do so. In fact, they can bury language in the loan agreement that requires co-signers to pay the balance in full immediately upon the original borrower's death.
Everyone's vulnerable because there is no requirements out there.
Christopher's father had retired before his son's death, but he's now back at work to pay off tens of thousands of dollars for which he is now solely responsible. But this financial nightmare could have been prevented.
It's not something you want to think about beforehand, but you have to.
Families who take out private student loans should consider credit insurance, which covers repayment of loans in the event of death or disability. They can also shop around for private student loans with forgiveness policies in the case of the original borrower's death.
Parents just don't think about that. And then you're handed this situation.
We can't avoid all the tragedies of life, but we can certainly legislate in ways that give parents information about how to avoid some of the risk financially.
The Brisky story inspired Representative John Adler to introduce Christopher's Law. It would require banks and other private lenders to provide information to co-signers about power of attorney, credit insurance, and the co-signer's obligations if the student dies or is incapacitated. The Briskys say Christopher's Law is the best way to honor their son's memory.
He's smiling down and knowing that we're doing the right thing. And we hope that other people feel that way too. We think they will.
We put more information about Christopher's Law on the consumer page on 6abc.com. I'm Nydia Hahn, Channel 6 Action News.
This was a night of live music under the stars in Philadelphia's Fairmount Park. The Whispers, Regina Bell, and Carol Riddick entertained fans at the Dell Music Center. The Dell reopened in June after nearly 3 years of renovations. There are still 2 more concerts scheduled for the summer. And what about that 7-day AccuWeather forecast?
And stormy tonight. We still have some storms out there. Fortunately, never really made it into Philadelphia, all to the west. Storm Tracker 6 live showing the cell that we've been tracking in Lancaster County has really fizzled out, but we do have a batch right now essentially that's moved through Phoenixville. It's moving up to the north and the east. Not a lot of lightning strikes associated with this, but some heavy rain near Worcester, near Lansdale, and also we've been tracking another little cell that's moving to the north and the east of Trenton as we speak. And again, not a lot of lightning strikes with this, but some heavy downpours near Route 1 and Highway 206. The action cam, though, taking a look at this. If you look closely, do you see it? A rainbow right across the street from Channel 6 tonight. We got some of those showers and then a little bit of sun, and that's the result. Officially at the airport right now, the temperature 81 degrees. Humidity is still up there. It will be dropping overnight, though, 69%. Barometer 29.96 is rising. Winds out of the north at 8 miles an hour. The ocean temperature like bath water, 78 degrees, very warm in the ocean and very warm today. It was oppressive, 93 degrees, that's 9 degrees above normal, only 5 degrees shy of the record. You added the dew points, the humidity, the heat index, the way it felt, more than 100 at times, so it certainly was hot. But now things are beginning to cool off, essentially from the northwest to the southeast. It will be a gradual process. Mount Pocono down to 70, Allentown 71, Reading 72, but Wilmington still 82 degrees.